Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Dandavat Pranam Mataji. And Prabhu, yes. Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Yeah, we can start with the opening prayers. Whoever wants to do, please do. Can I? Yeah, please do. Can I do, Mataji? Yeah, please do, Uma Mataji. Om Ajnanatimiram Jasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshu Unmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Savidam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Tadamahyam Tadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapata Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Sakrajadam Sagagana Raghunathanvitam Samsajivam Satvaitam Savadudam Parijanasakitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagaganalita Sri Vishaka Mathaji. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Paddo Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanja Kalpata Ukyapta Kripa Sindhukeva Cha Hadidana Bhavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, today we will be doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 27. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmada pariharyarthe, natvam shochitum arhasi. Yes, whoever wants to read. Yeah, read.
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur, dhruvam janma mritasya cha, tasmata viriharyerte nattam shochitum arhasi.
I'll read Mataji.
Thank you.
Yeah, please read Lalita Mataji.
Jadasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mrityasya cha tasmadavariharyete natvam shosidum arhasi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Yeah, Lakshmi Mataji has raised her hand. Please read.
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandavat. Jatasya dhruvo mrityurdhruvam janmamritasya cha tasmada pariharye atte natvam sochitum arhasi. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mere Mataji. Yeah, please read Mataji.
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityam dhruvam janma mrityasya cha tasmat pariharyate natvam sochitum arhasi. Hare Krishna.
Shall we read Mataji?
Yeah, read Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Jatasya hi dhruve mrityur dhruvam janma mrityasya cha tasmad abariharye arte natvam shochitum arhasi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Can I read, madam?
Can I read? Okay.
Yeah, after Radha Mataji, Vishwanathan Prabhu, you can read after Radha Mataji. Yes.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuh dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad aparyaharyeriti natvam sochitum arhasi. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. Vishwanathan Prabhu, please read. Yes.
Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityatvam janma mritasya cha.
Yes.
tasmat
Apariharye.
tasmat apariharye
Arthe.
na tvam
Shochitum.
sochitu mahim
Arhasi. Arhasi, Prabhu.
Marhati.
Arhasi.
I'll read Mataji.
Arhati.
Yes. Read, Mataji, read.
जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्यु ध्रुवो जन्म मृत्यस्य च तस्मात् अपरिहार्यते न त्वं सोचुतुम् अर्हसि. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'll also read Mataji. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha tasmad apariharye arte na tvam sochitam arhasi. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes. So we will now go to the word meaning. Jatasya, of one who has taken his birth. He, certainly. Dhruvaha, a fact. Mrityuhu, death. Dhruvam, it is also a fact. Janma, birth. Mritasya, of the dead. Cha, also. Tasmat, therefore. Apariharye, of that which is unavoidable. Arthe, in the matter. Na, do not. Tvam, you. Shochitam, to lament. Arhasi, deserve. So we will see further what has been told by Krishna in this verse, and Srila Prabhupada explaining in the purport, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. One who has taken his birth is sure to die, and after death one is sure to take birth again. Therefore, in the unavoidable discharge of your duty, you should not lament. So now we'll see what Krishna is trying to say here. In the previous verse, the Vaibhashika philosophy was spoken about, that this body or soul is a combination of some physical and chemical elements. So when a certain combination of physical elements comes to a mature stage, the life or existence comes into being. That's what was spoken in the previous verse. And then the instruction given to Arjun was, you don't have to lament that, because when you say it's only a combination of elements, again, when the elements disintegrate, it's like a normal process. They will be integrated together and life will come into existence, and again the elements will be disintegrated. So actually, if you see that, if you see that some kind of an energy, it's in a manifest form when it is like in a body form, and in the unmanifest form, all the elements are disintegrated. So there is this entire principle called conservation of energy. It seems it is like, the energy is never lost as such. If you consider this in this entire cosmos or in this universe also, the energy will be, displaced here and there, but the total energy is never lost. So in that principle, the previous verse said that elements will combine, elements will disintegrate. So you don't lament, you do your duty. And in this verse, Krishna is again trying to explain that even if you don't think of any other higher concepts, one thing for sure you know, that the fact is that one who has taken birth, he has to die. This fact everybody understands, this fact everybody accepts. Whoever takes birth, he has to die.
Yes.
Yes, because this is what is visible to us. This is the experience we all have. Because nobody is staying here permanently. Whoever has taken birth will definitely have to leave his body. And same way, whoever leaves the body, it is said that they take birth again. So somewhere the birth will happen. This again is sure to happen. Whatever philosophy you follow, this is what is accepted. So, Prabhupada writes in the purport that one has to take birth according to one's activities for life. That means, whatever the activities he has done in his previous life, based on that he has got this life in this particular body, he has to actually experience his past life karmas. He will also add some more karmas in this life. And after finishing his term of activities in this particular body, he has to leave this body. He has to die and to take birth in the next body. So in this way, the cycle of birth and death will go on. one after the other, the birth will be there, then the death will be there, that is leaving the body, again the birth. And without liberation, this cycle of birth and death will go on. So, there is also one theory called, if you have heard, of Gemini's theory of karmavad. It's a non-theistic theory. There is no belief of God, or even if you accept as a God, his role is very limited. Has anybody heard about karmavad or karma mimamsa?
No, Mataji.
That is the philosophy by Gemini, a rishi, who says that everything is your karma. You do good karmas, you will get good result. You do anything bad, you will get bad. And even if you accept the fact that there is God, his role is only to give you good and bad, nothing more than that. So in that entire philosophy, there is nothing called liberation. The jiva will go on taking birth, leaving his body based on actions. But the philosophy, the teaching is that you do all good actions so that you can get heavenly kingdoms. It doesn't speak about getting out of this birth and death cycle. And the role of the Lord is limited to only giving you good and bad results, nothing more than that. So here Prabhupada also says that birth and death is an inevitable cycle if one doesn't go for liberation. But in karma mimamsa, there is nothing called liberation. You go on doing good activities, you will get good life, higher life, or in the life in the higher planets where enjoyment is more. But of course, we know the teachings of Gita that this is a very inconclusive or an incomplete fact, because there is certainly something called spiritual world, and the jiva has to go there for its being in its eternal state. So, and Prabhupada then further explains that even if one thinks that the cycle and birth and death will be there forever, but unnecessarily murdering, slaughtering and war has to be avoided. We had discussed a few shlokas back that anyway the soul cannot be killed. So whoever is killing also, he will only terminate the body. So keeping this concept, one cannot unnecessarily kill other jivas, because jiva himsa is also a sin, is also not acceptable in the Shastra. So unnecessarily killing, murdering, slaughtering, unnecessary war is also prohibited. Just because that jiva will get another birth, it will get another body, we cannot do this. But again the next line says, at the same time, violence and war are inevitable factors in human society for keeping law and order. So, we need a certain amount of violence. War also has to be there. Some kind of punishment also has to be there, because to maintain law and order. Supposing if there is no killing at all, if there is no war at all, what happens? What will happen?
It will increase.
Population will go on increase. Then what else will increase?
Papa will increase.
Yeah. If there is lot of adharma going on, and the unscrupulous or miscreants are creating disturbance, if they are not killed, if they are not punished, then so much of adharma will increase. There will be no safety and security for the pious, law-abiding citizens. So some kind of violence, some kind of war is required. But that is only to maintain some law and order, some proper, it has to be for the right cause. Why Prabhupada writes this is, in the next line he is explaining why this battle of Kurukshetra was very much essential, and why it was the supreme will of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. It was an inevitable event. It was the will of the Lord. And why did the Lord wish this kind of a battle? Because the number of people who lost their lives is in some lakhs and lakhs. But why did Krishna desire so? Why?
Because adharma was increasing.
Adharma was increasing, then
The sinful people, there were more sinful people who had to be put to an end.
okay, sinful people, then
Established dharma.
established dharma, then see, sometimes when there is so much of overpopulation, and with overpopulation, if there is adharma, to reduce the burden of Bhudevi, reduce the burden of the earth, this kind of wars, pestilence, natural calamities like famine or floods and earthquakes, tsunamis, they are also the Adi Daivika miseries, they are all created by the will of the Lord. Because every day Bhudevi, who is bearing the burden of all the jivas, also gets tired when it is like overly populated, and also the people not following dharma. So she also has to get relief. So this Kurukshetra, the battle was, that's why, an inevitable event. So ultimately, when Gandhari asks Krishna after the death of all her sons, that Krishna, if you so desired, my sons wouldn't have died. This battle itself wouldn't have happened. Why, Krishna, you didn't stop? So what do you think Krishna would have told her? It's not impossible for Krishna to stop a battle. If he wishes so, he can stop the battle. But why was it an inevitable event?
Because of adharma only, no?
Yes. Adharma. See, Krishna gives a very simple answer that I could have stopped, but I cannot stop because of the choices made by the jivas. See, Krishna has given us the independence to choose the actions. If a person chooses adharmic activities, then the consequence will be a punishment for that. And this Kurukshetra was actually a punishment for the Kauravas, more so for Dhritarashtra. And the battle was important because dharma had to be established. So this is the reason he gives. I desire so many things, but the jivas have a different desire. And according to their desire, all such things become inevitable. Even Yudhishthira also says, Krishna, why get into this kind of a battle? Why don't we just get, Yudhishthira is by nature a dharmaraj who believes in the concept of forgiveness, and he says that, okay, we can forgive our brothers and things like that. Then, Krishna, if you so desire, the battle will not take place. Then he tells Yudhishthira also, I did not desire Pandavas being burnt in the Lakshagraha. I did not desire Draupadi being humiliated, a queen, and a chaste lady like Draupadi being humiliated. These were not my desires. This was done. And to rectify it, this battle has become inevitable. And this is an inevitable event. Why Krishna is saying this is because anyway the war will go on. Even if Arjun runs away from there, the battle will not stop there. So Arjun's duty is to fight. That's why ultimately he tells also that you don't deserve to lament for this. Because this fight is for the right cause. And fighting for the right cause is the duty of a Kshatriya. And then why should he be afraid of his duty? And even the very result that he will be killing all his relatives in discharging his duty is not a big point of lamentation for him, because Krishna has already told that soul is eternal, body will perish. Even if it doesn't accept, it is a combination of elements, they will again disintegrated anyway. If Arjun doesn't kill his relatives, they are not going to be there in that body, or they themselves will not be there. Somehow they will have to die. And even in this world, because they have taken birth, death is inevitable for them. So then why should Arjun lament for discharging his duty? So Prabhupada writes, he did not deserve to break the law, thereby becoming subjected to the reactions of sinful acts, of which he was afraid. He was giving this reason also. First was compassion, and second he says, sinful reactions. I will accrue sinful reactions by killing all my family members and elders and teachers. He says, no, you were not the person who broke the law. The law was broken by somebody else. And now in order to rectify it and bring law and order back into the society, you have to act like a Kshatriya. So why are you afraid of doing so? And in fact, he tells that you, by avoiding the proper discharge of duty, first thing is that you are not going to stop the death of your relatives. Death is imminent. It's like a fact. It is inevitable for your relatives. You avoiding killing them is not going to affect anything there. They will die anyway. And next is, if by avoiding your duty, you will degrade yourself. So, Kshatriya not choosing to do your duty, or for that matter, any person of any varna or any ashram not doing their duties will degrade themselves because they have selected the wrong path of action. If one makes a wrong decision, there is a consequence. Even if he makes the right decision, it will be the right consequence, right result. Because all actions have got reactions. So Arjuna's choice will not stop the death of his relatives. Instead, it will cause his degradation. So that's why he is again telling Arjun, why should you lament for this? So if you see in the previous shloka also, previous two shlokas also, again and again, Krishna has been addressing Arjun and saying, you should not grieve for the body. There is no reason to lament. Even in this verse he says, you should not lament while discharging your duty. Again and again he is reminding Arjun that you need not feel that sorrow in discharging your duty. You just carry on. Yes. Anybody has any doubt in this? Is the shloka clear?
Very clear.
Mataji. Absolutely clear.
Anybody has any points to add to this?
The other means they are given a lot of chances by Krishna to realize their mistakes. They didn't realize at all.
Yes.
That is
See, actually, that's what he tells Gandhari. See, nobody listened to me. See, in fact, her husband, Krishna came as Shanti Doot. He tried to explain to Dhritarashtra that forget about Duryodhana's behavior. You are the king. You have the right to decide whether the nation should go for a war or it should not. But Dhritarashtra was blinded by his own greed and his love for his son, and he chose whatever Duryodhana wanted. So isn't that a mistake? It is a mistake. See, the tendency of the jiva is that they make choices, they take decisions, they act in the way in which they feel it is appropriate, and then they blame the Lord that why didn't the Lord stop it? Why didn't the Lord stop this kind of a consequence? Why didn't the Lord allow everything, why didn't the Lord make everything right? See, if the jiva makes the wrong choice and if the Lord goes on supporting the wrong choices, then will the jiva ever realize the importance of following dharma? What is adharma? What is dharma? It will never realize. And by doing all these sinful actions, it will further degrade itself to lower and lower births or species or lower lokas. So the Lord will never support a wrong choice. He is a judge. He will only give the result based on fair judgment. So the Lord cannot be blamed for our. It could be individual action, it could be collective action, it could be the karmas of the land wherever it is taking place. So sthana karma, it could be sahavasa karma, people around you's actions also sometimes have an impact on you. You suffer the reaction of people around you also. It is also possible. So desha karma, in whichever place you are, you in whichever country you are, each country actually now in our Bhuloka on our Earth planet also has got a typical kind of astrological influence because of the place. So you have the karma of that place also affecting you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, one doubt.
Yes. Yes,
Mataji, can Sahawasa karma be avoided?
It can be, then you have to give up that association, Mataji.
Oh, okay.
If you are in that association, then you may have to take up the reaction.
Maybe Mataji, it may be a very close relative of yours. Okay.
Yeah. Then if you are part of it, then you have to take Mataji.
Oh, there is no alternative, huh?
No alternative.
Mataji, what is that karma Mataji is talking about?
Sahavasa, Mataji, with the people you are. Very close people who are, sometimes their karma will affect you also.
Okay, Mataji. That's why that satsangam is recommended.
Yes. One has to be aware. See, close family members, your children, your husband, that's why the family, like husband and children, the karmas are interwoven. That's why we are all together as a family. So sometimes the effect of our children's karmas also come to us, our karmas also go in a minute way, but that happens because we are all together. We are interwoven by our strong karmic reactions. But relatives, yes, sometimes it happens. If you are very close, then you may have to take up that suffering or that whatever benefit also.
Okay.
One moment, Mataji.
Yes,
like, as you said, that karma, or even for relatives also, we have to take it, no?
Yes.
For example, my relative, one of my relatives, my sister-in-law, she met with she fell in love and she got a fracture. Now she's with me only. I'm taking care of her. She's got a daughter. The thing is, some situation she has to be here for the past 12 months. But even we need to go somewhere and we have some work outside. So we cannot take her presently, maybe after a month or something. She's got a daughter. We are going to leave her there.
Send her. Yes.
So I feel sometimes, am I doing wrong? Like, just in a polite way, I told her daughter because my husband told, like, we have some other one. So, better she can.
It's genuine because, see, it's like sometimes when you have a certain things to do and you have to go and do it, definitely, then you can ask the other person to accommodate you. It's not about karma and all, it's about genuinely caring for each other and having healthy boundaries. So, whatever best you can do, you do. Beyond a point, then you have to entrust it somebody who has to.
That's what, again, it is not an easy thing to be set off because her fracture is like that, the mobility is very less. It takes 6 to 8 months.
But you do whatever is best, Mataji. Beyond that, if you need help, you have to take help.
Yeah, that is what. But as you say, Arjun was lamenting, like feeling very sorry to kill his relatives. So I feel like, am I doing some wrong?
No, nothing like that, Mataji. Arjuna's scale is different, Mataji. It was Dharma Yuddha. We are not in the Dharma Sangarsha anything. It's just that in our lives, we sometimes feel that, we have this obligation, we have duty, we are not able to fulfill. See, Mataji, if you are unable to fulfill and in your conscious, you are worried, you are tense, you are like, why the daughter is not taking care, then doing the duty like that also is of no use, Mataji. In the sense, you are internally not very, very happy and fully you are not focusing on the duty. You are doing just out of an obligation. That's also not a very pleasant thing to do, Mataji.
Yeah, that is what. Even she's a young girl means she's 40 years. So I said,
Mataji, then you have to pass on. After a point, let her also take up the responsibility.
Even my sister is a very nice lady, nice woman.
You can do that, Mataji. There is nothing wrong in it. After a point, you can ask the daughter to take it.
Thank you.
Can we compare this with Trump?
Trump, Prabhu? In what way comparison with Trump?
That is, he is trying to kill.
Prabhu, the Trump's actions, I don't know, you cannot bring it under dharmic actions or for the purpose of dharma. Whatever is the motive of Trump, as of now, superficially when we see it's extreme self-interest, greed and establishing power and bullying others. So it doesn't come
establishing supremacy.
That's all.
Yes, correct.
That is actually an adharmic activity, Prabhu. It doesn't come under any of this dharma and all, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, somebody, Lakshmi Mataji, you were saying something?
I was just wanted to inquire. I mean, some tight situations like that, will spiritual affinity or spiritual coming closer to the Lord, will it try to curtail all this, Mataji? No?
Yes. If your sadhana is proper, all these things which unknowingly you have to take up and do, or maybe knowingly also you did, but you were not very much inclined to it, they will all be kind of reducing. The effect can also reduce sometimes. It's all your spiritual sadhana. If it becomes good, then all this can happen, Mataji.
So more of Shraddha should be there.
Yes. Yes. If there are no further questions, we can...
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yeah.
I have a question, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Mataji, actually, what is the soul's ultimate purpose? It is to reach the Lord, right, Mataji?
Yes.
So, is there a chance that the soul will, once it has reached the Lord, can it come down to earth again?
It doesn't come down. That's what Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita. You're reading the 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. If you read that verse, na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yad gatva na nivartate tad dhama paramam mama. Once the soul reaches my dham, it will not come back. Krishna has told this.
So, yes, Mataji, but we believe like Arjuna has taken rebirth, like that, no, Mataji.
Mataji, Arjuna is the eternal associate of Lord Krishna. Whenever Krishna comes down to perform pastimes, Arjuna will also come with him. And in the context of Gita, Arjuna represents the Jiva Tattva. So for them, Krishna is addressing that you will also keep taking birth, rebirth, being in this material world. And once you go back to the spiritual world, if the Lord so desires that you participate in his pastime, you will come down with him. Otherwise, no question of coming down, Mataji. You will be there.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
See, Jay and Vijay, the people put up an argument that from Vaikuntha, Jay and Vijay fell down to the material world. What has happened to Jay Vijay? Because they are in the spiritual world, then there is no question of coming down from the spiritual world. But the Supreme Lord desired to fight. He had this desire to fight. But in the spiritual world, there is no fighting. But Krishna is Purna Purusha. He is full Kala Sampurna. Out of the 64 Kalas, fighting is also one Kala, and Krishna is Nipun. He is perfect in that. But in the spiritual world, he cannot fight. So he has to come down to the material world to fight, and Krishna will fight only with his pure devotees. So Jay and Vijay knew this. And the pastime has to go on. That's why that entire setup was there where the 4 Kumaras went to Vaikuntha and they cursed Jay Vijay and they came down to give pleasure to Krishna in the Veera Rasa for fighting. So the Vaikuntha Vasis or the Jivas from the spiritual world, they come down to the material world only to serve the Lord. Yes. Sudesh Prabhu, you are saying something?
Actually, sometimes when you do service for Krishna, like in the kitchen, some accidents come, and how will you take it? Is it our own fault or Krishna's?
Prabhu, actually, same question once somebody asked Prabhupada. He was a devotee cooking in the kitchen, and he cut his hand, and he came to Prabhupada and said, I was cooking for Krishna and devotees. See what has happened to me, Prabhupada. He says, actually, your neck should have been cut. The karma was so bad, but Krishna just gave you a token by cutting your hand.
Oh, okay.
So this was Prabhupada's answer to the devotee.
So Krishna will anyway protect us anyway.
Yes.
Yes. Thank
and
you.
if you have to take it the other way, like in the way that, okay, whatever has happened to me, maybe I cut my hand or burnt my hand, maybe some karma of mine was there. Krishna just gave a token of it and he finished.
It's our fault only, but
yes,
you should have done it carefully, something like that.
Yes. See, the point is, Krishna has told in this very chapter that in this material world, you will have to tolerate good and bad, because this material world itself is a place of duality. Just because we have become the devotees of Krishna and we are serving Krishna, it is not that anything bad cannot happen to us. No, that is wrong. That's why he told Arjun, you have to tolerate victory, defeat, sorrow, happiness, and do your duty. So we also have to do that. We have to tolerate whatever is happening to us and keep doing our duty, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Okay, nice explanation. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we can close if all the doubts are done. Yes. Who wants to do the closing prayers?
I do, Mataji.
Yeah, Padma.
Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva ca patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Ki jai. Thank you, Mataji. All glories to the assembled devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.